Good morning, children. I am Aarthi here to explain the very first chapter of your supplementary reader of class 7, An Alien Hand. The name of the chapter is The Tiny Teacher. Before reading the story, I would like to ask you some questions, students. What do you think about pets? And what other animals do you keep as pets? When you think about pets, children, all of you love to have pets. Many of you would have had pets at home like dogs, cats, fish, and many more. But when you think about ants, I don't think so that you will have an idea of keeping ants as your pets. But here, in this first chapter of your supplementary reader, or I would say the article which is there in your first chapter, which is given in your first chapter, An Alien Hand, is a research work of those people who have kept ants as their pets. They have cleanly done a research work of what these ants were, how many types, how many varieties of ants are there, how would have their lifestyle, and many more. So, we will have a clean summary of these ants, how their lifestyle, and how they come to teach a lesson to us. So, let us move to the story. So, when you think about ants, when you say we can learn many things from the ants. A few keywords of which you could learn from the ants is given in the first part of the story. Though they are very small, the ant is unbelievingly intelligent and hardworking. When you see ants, children, they never take rest. They are always at work. They will be very busy moving here and there and doing all sorts of work. And when you see among the various kinds of ants, the commonest ant is the black or red. So you might have noticed in your houses or school or garden, wherever you see ants, you might have come across the commonest variety of the ants is the red ant and the black ant. And their comfortable homes where they live is called the ant hills. Ants live in a comfortable homes called ant hills. So let us move to the story, children. Name the smallest insect you have ever seen and the wisest. Is it a fly? No, it isn't. Is it a mosquito? No, not the mosquito. Then it must be the worm. No, none of these. It is the ant, the commonest, the smallest but the wisest insect. So, children, here the article says that the ant is the wisest and the smallest among all the insects. The story of an ant's life sounds almost untrue, but people have kept ants as pets and have watched their daily behavior closely. So we know a number of facts about this tiny, hardworking, and intelligent creature. So here we get a clean and closely watched behavior of the ants, of those people who have kept ants as their pets, about their behavior, about their life structure, how they daily do their work, and what all they do is given clearly in this article. And that is a clean observation of those people who have kept ants as their pets. An ant uses its feelers or antenna to talk to other ants by passing messages through them. Watch a row of ants moving up or down the wall. Each ant greets all the others coming from the opposite direction by touching their feelers. So, children, when you notice the ants moving from here and there, you see they move in a straight line. And whenever they pass across other ants, when they come the opposite direction, they will touch each other and they try to communicate. As we communicate, as I am talking to you and you are listening to me, this is the way the humans contact, communicate with each other. But here, the ants have a way of communicating through their feelers. They have two feelers on top of their head through which they communicate. They can communicate with each other and understand each other. So whenever you see you might have noticed in your houses or anywhere when you see the ants moving, when they meet another ant in the opposite direction, they'll touch the feelers and they try to understand each other. There are many kinds of ants. The commonest among them are the black or red ones. We have seen them since we are children, but haven't paid enough attention to them. Where do they live? So, children, so when you come to see, the commonest among the ants is the red and the black ants. So that those two ants only you might have come across in your life. So but you never have attention to look about where these ants live, what they are doing, how they are living. Nothing. You never have time or attention. You never gave attention to these ants. So when you say where do they live, they have the very comfortable place called the ant hills to live in. So where do they live? In their comfortable homes called nests or ant hills. Each has hundreds of little rooms and passages. In some of these rooms, the queen ant lays eggs. Others are nurseries of the young ones called grubs. So children, so here when you see, the ants have their comfortable homes called as the ant hills. The ant hill consists of several rooms and passages, and one such ant is called the queen ant. These queen ants take the responsibility of laying eggs. And there is another kind of variety of ant which is called the nurses ant. So these nurses ants take care of these eggs till they hatch and become a ant. These eggs are called as these young ones, or these eggs are called as the grubs. So there is another kind of variety of ants also which is called the workers. Now let us have a look about that. Workers have their reserved quarters. They spend most of their time searching for food. Some rooms serve as storehouses for this food. Soldiers have separate barracks. So when you come across there are another kind of variety called the workers ant. So these workers has the main job of these workers ants are searching for food. They go out, they search food, they bring the food and store it in the storehouses. As we human beings have different kind of jobs to do, like doctors, engineers, military men, teachers. We have our own professions. Likewise, the ants also have their own professions. So the ant consists of a queen ant which is responsible for laying eggs, and another nurses ants which takes care of the young ones called the grubs. Then the workers ants which goes in search of food and brings the food and store it in the house. And there's another kind of variety also that is called the soldiers ants. So soldiers have separate barracks. No worker has ever tried to live in a soldier's house. No soldier has ever gone out for searching for food. No worker or soldier or cleaner has ever harmed a grub. So you see, an ant's life is very peaceful. Each does its share of work intelligently and bravely and never fights with other members of the group. So here, as we have our own professions and we carry out our professions, likewise the ants also have their own professions. So the workers will do their workers, that is searching for food. The queen ant does its own responsibility of laying eggs, and the soldiers, they guard, self guard other ants from other creatures without harming them. And the another one, the nurses ants, take care of the ants which have got hurt, or takes care of the young ones called the grubs. So no one disturbs the other ants work, and they never fought with each other. They are very intelligent and brave, and lived a peaceful life. The queen is the mother of the entire population of the colony. It lives for about 15 years. It has a pair of wings, but bites them off after its wedding flight. This flight takes place on a hot summer day. The queen leaves the nest and goes out to meet a male ant or drone high up in the air. On its return to earth, it gets rid of its wings and thus does nothing but lay eggs. So here a clean description is given about the queen ants. The queen ant is responsible for the entire population of the ants which lives in a colony. So this queen ant lives about 15 years, and it also has a pair of wings. So this wings, so the female ant is called the queen ant, and the male ant is called the drone ant. So this male ant and the female ant, that is the queen ant and the drone, meet each other, and after the meeting takes place, this queen ant gets rid of its wings. When it reaches the earth, it flies up in the air to meet the drone ant. After the meet, when it comes back, when it reaches the earth, it sheds off its wings. The wings are fallen off. Shed off means fallen off. After that, the queen ant never does any work except lay eggs. So it's only work to lay the eggs. Eggs hatch and grubs come out. Soldiers guard them. Workers feed and clean them, and also carry them out daily for airing, exercise, and sunshine. So after that, what happened? The eggs hatch and grubs come out. That grubs is the tiny ones. That is the younger one of the ants. So this grubs are guarded by the soldiers. So the workers, what they do is they go out, searching food, bring food, and they come and feed the grubs. So it takes the responsibility of taking the grubs outside the ant hill to get sunshine and air also. So 2 or 3 weeks later, grubs become cocoons and lie without food or activity for 3 weeks more. So after what happens after 2 or 3 weeks, these grubs become cocoons, and without food they stay there for 3 more weeks to become a full ant. Then the cocoons break and perfect ants appear. So after these 3 weeks, the cocoons break and the real ants, the fulfilled ant comes out. Now it's time for teaching and training. New ants learn their duties from old ants as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. After a few weeks training, the small ants are ready to go out into their big world of work. So after the eggs hatches and after the ants come out, it goes for a training section, and it gets trained for doing what kind of work it should do, like workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. And after that, it gets ready to go out into the big world to carry out their own works. An ant hill is a home not only for ants but also for some other creatures, beetles, lesser breeds of ants, and the green fly. So, children, when you see the ants, it is more or less equal to our lifestyle. So, as we have friends, the ants also have friends, such as such other small creatures like beetles and green fly. So let us have a look on that also. Why do ants want these alien creatures to live in their ants? So ants are always there. They are doing their own work. They live peacefully. But what do you think? Why they have to allow these foreign creatures? That is, other than the ants, why they want to allow beetles or green flies to enter into their ant hill? That is their house and stay there. There might be some reasons. It's it. Let us look upon those reasons. For several reasons, some give off smell pleasant to the ant senses. So these beetles or these green flies, they give out a pleasant smell which the ants like very much. So they sense these smells and they feel happy. So they allow these green flies or beetles to stay in their ant homes. Others give sweet juices, and some are just pets or playthings like cats and dogs to human beings. So other type of creatures they give juices also for the ants to use upon. So as we have pets and we have friends, these ants also have friends like these other small creatures. The green fly is the ant's cow. The ants train it to give honeydew like milk with a touch of their antenna. They milk it just as we milk the cow. So children, here the article says that as we have a cow to milk and use it, these ants also use the green fly, which gives a honeydew, which they consider as the milk. So they touch them with their antenna and they milk they take the honeydew from these green flies. Have humans learned as much as ants have? Perhaps they have, but they haven't put their learning to good use. So, children, the ants teach us a better lesson than the humans. They have brought about a peaceful life of how they do their own work and live peacefully. So, we have to learn much from the ants. They may still learn a few things from this tiny teacher: hard work, sense of duty, discipline, cleanliness, care for the young ones, and above all, a firm loyalty to the land where they live. So, these tiny creatures teach us a good lesson about how we have to do hard work and how we have to sense our duty and do perfectness in our duty. How should we be disciplined, be clean, cleanliness, care for everyone, and most of us be loyal to the land where we live. I hope you understood. So I hope you understood the story well, children, and how these people who have kept their ants as their pets have given us a clear history of these ants and what all lessons we could learn from the ants. So let us come to the end of this session. Let us see in another video session. Till then, have a good day. Bye, children.